Hello viewers, my name is Alex Njiri. Welcome to the weekly review. This week, the political temperatures reach sizzling hot. The BBI continues to dominate the local political conversations. The BBI Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020 goes through the motions in various county assemblies, and the IMF and structural adjustment programs looming. Today, to help us navigate through the week that was, I have with me a man who wears many hats. He's an investment banker, an entrepreneur, a politician, and now the co-chair of the BBI Secretariat, Honorable Dennis Waweru. Welcome to the set.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. It's our pleasure having you here today, and we look forward to having a robust discussion around the BBI, and also perhaps in ending, we also look at the state of our economy. Now, let's start with the elephant in the room. Yeah. A couple of weeks ago, of course, we had the Mount Kenya consultative meetings in Sagana that were hosted and chaired by His Excellency the President. And of course, we then had him, he had a meeting with the MCAs drawn from the Mount Kenya counties. And during the meetings, he's alleged to have, I say alleged because I didn't see any live recording of that. Yeah. He's alleged to have ceded to the demands of the MCAs. Yeah. To get their car loans converted into car grants. So was that a bribe then?
Well, first of all, for us as the region of Mount Kenya, we normally caucus once in a while to discuss common shared interests of Mount Kenya.
Right.
And that being one of the meetings that we have had. Actually, that was the third meeting. That was Sagana 3.
Yes, Sagana 3, yeah.
So, and we always discuss and invite different groups and discuss issues that are common to them and also to our region. Right. And we had a discussion with members of parliament. We discussed issues of coffee, issues of tea, issues of milk, issues of businesses with the members of parliament. We discussed same issues with the MCAs. Yes. We discussed with the elders, the church leaders, and so many issues. I don't know why people just picked one. And when you talk about Mount Kenya caucusing and MCAs coming out with a grant, I may also tell you that it's not just for Mount Kenya or MCAs in that case. Correct. But I don't think that's a new issue. The issue of the car grant for MCAs dates back 2014. So it didn't come up in Sagana only. It's been there for a long time. And the issue has always been why members of parliament would get and members of county assembly should not get. If we are giving members of parliament, we also give members of the county assemblies because they're also serving people. Mm-hmm. If we deny members of parliament, members of county assembly, MCAs, then we don't have any business giving the members of parliament.
I think, and I get your argument, and perhaps I think the biggest issue here is the timing, especially that you've given the context. I think they've tried to do this in 2014, again in 2016. Both time it was an emphatic no. So the question is, why now, on the dawn of the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020 being presented to the assemblies, did the president cede? And then perhaps also when you put into context the state of the economy that I've alluded to.
Maybe the members of the county assembly are good negotiators and they are lobbying. So you cannot fault them for lobbying for their welfare. We are seeing even doctors lobbying for their interest and their welfare. I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, in fact for them, I think they are doing a good job. Okay. And we should be fair. If we are giving members of parliament, then we might as well give members of county assembly. If we feel like it's too expensive and it's not the right time, then we should freeze for even members of parliament because they're serving the people. Yeah, I don't think there is any connection between the two. I think we discussed many issues. We discussed issues of coffee. We discussed No. I think it's good to be fair. Okay. And you see, these are the people who are serving the people at the lowest level in our country. Yeah, and actually, I don't think it's a very interesting thing to be a member of MCA because you get faced with so many challenges every morning. Member of parliament can run away from the constituency for a month. But most of the MCAs are living with these people on the ground. Yeah, that's true. So you can imagine how much pressure they are going through. That's true. Yeah, so I don't think it's good to be unfair to the members of the county assembly. I think maybe the issue of timing, but I think it's within their right for them to be given what belongs to them. Okay. Yeah.
So shifting gears a bit, Dennis, So we've seen in the last, I think, 1 week, the High Court delivered a judgment where they, asked the IBC to halt any preparations for conducting the referendum. But on the same note, they then said that did not stop you from, taking the bill through the county assemblies. Yes. So first, I want to know, in terms of as the secretariat, what are your preparations? Has that affected how you view the whole process, and what adjustments have you had to make?
I have been sued more than 20 times in the last 1 month on the same issue. The first thing we requested the courts to do is to consolidate all these cases into one.
Correct.
Which was granted. And I'm very happy that they didn't actually stop us from proceeding with our process. What they said is we are going to have an inter-party hearing that is on 16, 17, and 16, 17, and 18 next month.
March. Okay.
But they stopped IBC from conducting a referendum. But they never stopped us from carrying out the public participation, carrying out the voting at the county level. They didn't stop the National Assembly from debating the BBI bill. Right. They didn't stop the Senate. So we are still on course, and we are going to proceed, and we are going to also send our lawyers to appear on 18th of this month, of next month.
Now,
so that has not stopped our process.
Yeah.
We are going to continue, and hopefully we are going to put a strong case against the court case.
Right.
So we are not worried, we are not stopping, we are continuing, because I don't think there is a lot of merit in this case.
Assuming that you get a favorable judgment next month, what timelines are we looking at in terms of having the bill go from the county assemblies to both houses, the National Assembly and Senate, to the president, to IEB?
We are trying to save as much time as possible. You remember we had 3 months to verify the signatures. We were able to do that in slightly under 1 month.
Yes.
We also had 3 months for the county assemblies. I am sure by Tuesday we have more than 24 counties.
Tuesday next week.
That you can take to the bank. Okay. We are going to have more than 24 counties. We are looking forward to having at least Mount Kenya counties. We are going to have more than 10 on 23rd, on Tuesday. We are going to have other counties even before then. I think Nairobi, we are getting it tomorrow. So we are sure we are going to get even more than 30 counties by next week.
You're comfortable?
We are sure we are comfortable, and we are sure because this is a bill that has something for governors. You know, we're increasing the funding from 15% to 35%. This is a bill that has the 5% county, ward development fund. So there's no reason why it should not go through the counties.
But the same bill, Dennis, and this is in the context of our struggling economy, proposes the expansion of the executive. So we have a prime minister, 2 deputy prime ministers. It proposes the expansion of the National Assembly for more nominations to allow for the 2/3 gender principle. Dennis, put against that backdrop.
When you say something is expensive, it's relative. Because if you're comparing economies, if you look at Tanzania, it's almost half our GDP. And they have a prime minister and a president and another government in Zanzibar. So when you talk about cost, I think it's a bit relative. You need to compare it as a percentage of what? Ethiopia is a smaller economy than us. And in any case, if you're talking about the structure of government, if you look at the actual cost outside of propaganda, if you look at the seat, for example, a seat of prime minister, it is simply what Kemunya is doing, a combination of the supervision of Matiang'i. That is simply a prime minister. And in any case, a prime minister is a member of parliament without any extra cost. In fact, we are going to save one position because currently we are having a leader of majority and we are having Matiang'i's position. So
you'll still have a minister for interior.
So we are going to have, actually we are not going to have a supervisor like Matiang'i is, but we are going to combine the 2 seats into one. And that is going to be a prime minister who is a member of parliament.
Does he get paid more for being a supervisor?
No, nothing. You will not be getting anything more than your normal salary.
So you say...
And a deputy prime minister, again, is a member of parliament from the 360. I have had this discussion in the social media and I've been challenging them to come for a talk show like this one, and we take the numbers and we calculate the actual numbers, because numbers don't lie.
But how come
If you look at the structure of
Dennis,
government, if you look at the number of members of parliament today, because you need to evaluate numbers from the National Assembly, if you look at 360, the recommended currently, and you look at the Senate, 94, what is the total? If you calculate what is currently there and what is proposed, we are actually saving 14 seats.
The current Senate should be 67 with the nominations.
The current one is 67.
And I think 349, I think.
49.
Correct, yes.
Plus 22 members of parliament, members of the executive, right?
Yeah.
Plus we have other people called CAS. If you calculate all that and you compare it to the 360 plus 94, it's actually a net position of 14 seats we are saving.
But we are nominating, we are nominating. We are nominating them, but you can force us.
No, I
Dennis,
know where you're going. We need to take that.
Chapter 1 of Constitution of Kenya 2010, the Bill of Rights, yeah?
What we need to do, even currently, we are not complying. What's the difference?
Okay.
If you take it as is today,
Right.
then you're supposed to nominate a third. So either way, you are cooked.
So what will happen to...
Now what we are saying is we need to push this gender compliance to the parties to ensure that they nominate women, so that there will be higher chances that more women will be elected into parliament.
Okay, and there's a reward for that as well, proposed?
We need to ensure that members of parliament, members of the parties nominate women. At least a third of women should be nominated.
Right.
Yeah? Not nominated to parliament, but to run for politics.
But how will you enforce that, Dennis, without affecting people?
We need to push it back to the parties.
The Bill of Rights,
Yeah, we need to push it to the parties.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, again...
Either way, even if you don't do it, even as is today, you need to comply.
Yeah, but that's why there has been an advisory against the current parliament, correct?
In fact, Amendment 1 of 2010 has done a lot of good things to the women. They have said that a governor, if it's a man, a woman will be a deputy governor. I think we have made some progress.
Then it shall consider that.
So we have made some progress because they were not there. Number two, we have 47 senators, women, guaranteed. Yeah, and when you're looking at gender, you'll be looking at the entire parliament, not National Assembly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Great.
we are doing well.
Great.
I think we have made some progress.
Yeah.
Maybe in the next amendment that you might bring up in future, then we might be able to comply fully.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So now moving on, a lot of people on the ground saying that they have not, seen copies of the BBI, that the BBI has not been availed to them, that they will not perhaps consider it because they've not seen it.
I have sent to each and every governor copies of BBI, the entire country.
How many copies have you distributed so far?
We have distributed over 10 million.
Right.
Yeah, so and we have also published it in the newspaper. We have twice in all the 3 dailies.
Right.
Yeah, we have also put it in on the website.
So why are people saying they've not seen it?
Well, I think it's still part of propaganda.
What mechanism are you using to distribute them? How are you distributing them?
We are giving to governors. The governors are giving to their MCAs.
Right.
We are also giving the copies to the county commissioners and cascade it all the way to the area chief.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that is now something that is overtaken by events because we have, I don't think there is any single county commissioner, district commissioner, chief, where you cannot get copies of the BBI as we speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, we turn back to the counties that have, approved the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020. And especially I'm talking with reference to Siaya County and Kisumu County, where there were question marks surrounding their public participation. Are you confident that they met that threshold?
No, it was done.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's also good to remember that different counties in Kenya have different standing orders. Yeah, they have their own standing orders.
Right.
And so you need to look at it in that context, because it's not a uniform procedural issue. It's something that differs from one county to another. So we cannot dictate and say that public participation in Siaya should be the same as a period that we give in Kiambu, because they have their own assemblies. Remember, they are independent assemblies with their own rules.
Right.
Yeah, so I think they observe that. They claim that is as per their rules. And you have seen, we have even given them an advisory. We have told them to ensure that they comply. I actually did a letter to all of them, all the 47 county assemblies, and I told them to ensure that they observe the public participation as per their standing orders.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't think that's a big challenge. I think I've been also sending my people to ensure that that compliance is there. And hopefully by next week they will be done with this.
Fantastic. Yeah. Baringo, what happened?
Well, I think there were some flackers there. They have gone to court. Let's see how the courts will determine that. Okay. But we still have 46 counties to go. So we are not very worried about that.
40 now. Yeah? Okay, great. Investments from the investment banker, entrepreneur, turned politician, now co-chair of the BBI Secretariat. Viewers, this has been a conversation with Honorable Dennis Waweru. Dennis, thank you very much for gracing our show. We look forward to hosting you, perhaps as soon as hopefully the BBI bill goes through the county assemblies, and we'll have a longer discussion, especially around the referendum process. And hopefully by then you'll also have we'll have seen a way forward from the court.
We finish with it so that we can focus on the right things.
Indeed.
Yeah,
indeed.
We finish with this referendum. We focus on building this country and economy.
And you can also tell us what you're eyeing for 2022, yeah? You never know.
Tell you after referendum.
Fantastic, okay. Dennis. Great, Dennis. Thank you so much for gracing our show. Thank you, viewer. My name is Alex Njiri. This was the weekly review. I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you.